There are some stories that sound so surreal, you almost want to believe they're fiction, but sometimes the truth is darker than any imagination could conjure. And tonight, I'm going to tell you a story that shook the very foundation of what I believed was love. Stay with me until the end. You won't believe how far one man went to win my heart. I'm not a regular Reddit user. But a few nights ago, I found myself lying awake at 2 a.m., scrolling through threads that might help me make sense of the storm inside my mind. I never thought I'd be one of those people writing out their story to strangers on the internet. But here I am, because I can't tell my family, I can't tell my friends. And honestly, I'm not even sure I can tell myself the truth yet. Let me take you back 5 years. I'm 32 now. At the time, I had just started seeing someone new, a guy named Dave. That's not his real name, but for this story, it'll do. He was 37, charming, calm, and kind, at least on the surface. We met through mutual friends, started off awkwardly, then slowly. Things warmed up. I wasn't really into him at first. He wasn't my type. I had been dating around, nothing serious and mostly disappointments. But Dave was persistent, polite, patient. After one too many bad dates, I gave in. We went out for dinner, and for the first half of the evening, it was awkward. I even considered sneaking out early. But then he started talking about things I actually cared about: hobbies, activism, music. And for the first time, I saw a side of him I didn't expect. From there, our relationship slowly grew, and eventually I fell in love with him. We got married, we have a beautiful daughter. She's 20 months old now, and I'm 4 months pregnant with our second child. We bought a cozy house just outside the city. I quit my job to stay home with our daughter, something I never thought I'd do, but surprisingly I loved it. We weren't rich, but we had stability. A sweet, peaceful life. Or so I thought. Now fast forward to just last week. My husband was playing games online with his younger brother Tom and some friends. They do this every Friday now. Beer, banter, some laughs. I was upstairs putting our daughter to bed when I got a text. It was from Tom's girlfriend, now fiancée. They had just gotten engaged. She'd messaged our group chat, and I could feel the happiness in every word. But then I saw one message from Tom that made me pause. "Big thanks to Dave. Couldn't have done it without your advice." I smiled. I thought maybe they were just looking up to us as a couple, that Dave was some kind of relationship guru. So I ran downstairs, jumped onto the couch next to my husband, and asked him what advice he gave. That's when it all began unraveling. Dave was drunk, and when Dave drinks more than 3 beers, he gets honest. Too honest. He started telling me how he helped Tom win his fiancée's heart by studying her likes, learning her habits, and showing up at just the right moments. He smirked proudly as he told me, "It's the same strategy I used on you." My heart skipped. At first I laughed it off. I thought he was just being silly. But then he started telling me everything, and I do mean everything, apparently. Dave had seen me on a dating site 6 months before we ever met in real life. He'd messaged me, I never replied. So instead of letting it go, he created fake profiles, multiple. He stole photos of attractive men online, tweaked them so they couldn't be reverse searched, and catfished me, one after another. Each time I thought I was talking to someone new, it was just Dave in disguise. He stalked my profiles, tracked my workplace through LinkedIn, figured out where I hung out with friends after work. Then, he befriended one of my co-workers, Mark, just to get closer to me. So when he finally showed up at the bar with our group, it wasn't coincidence, it was a plan. He destroyed my dating life from behind the curtain. I was being stood up, rejected, ghosted, and I thought something was wrong with me, but it wasn't. It was Dave. He engineered everything so that I'd feel unwanted, until I'd finally say yes to him. And I did. I said yes to the guy who had been pulling all the strings the whole time. But the worst part, I hadn't even heard the most twisted detail yet. He told me about Alex, that name. It hit me like lightning. Alex was the one that got away. The most beautiful man I had ever met. Someone I thought I'd finally connected with, deeply, instantly. We shared one magical night, and then, as we kissed outside the bar, I invited him over. He looked me dead in the eye and said, "Sorry, for years, I'm not
even
into
after I
easy
married
girls."
Dave,
And
I
he
still
walked
remembered
away.
Alex.
I cried in my
last
car
week,
for
my husband
hours.
casually
Tells me that he paid Alex to go on that date with me. Yes, he paid him to charm me, date me, then humiliate me. All so I would run crying back to the only man left, Dave. And it worked. He told me he spent $1,000 to break me down. His exact words were, "You were chasing guys out of your league. I needed to give you a reality check." I didn't say anything that night. I smiled weakly. Then I got up and went to bed. He passed out on the couch. I lay there in silence, staring at the ceiling. Was everything a lie? Had my entire love story been manufactured? He tricked me, manipulated me, hunted me, and yet I loved him. He's the father of my children. He's been good to me, right? So why does this truth hurt so deeply? I haven't told anyone yet. Not my friends, not my family, not even him. Not again. Not when he's sobered up. Because now, I don't know what to do. Do I confront him? Do I pretend I never heard any of it? Do I destroy the life we built because I can't trust its foundation? Or do I stay silent and just be grateful that he loved me so much he orchestrated this insane plan? I don't know, but I do know this. Sometimes love stories don't start with fate or fireworks. Sometimes they start with lies, manipulation, control, and even the happiest endings can have the darkest beginnings. Narrator, softly. What would you do if your soulmate turned out to be your stalker? Would you forgive? Would you forget? Or would you finally walk away? Let me know in the comments. And if this story touched you, share it. There are people out there trapped in perfect-looking lies. Maybe this will help someone wake up.